How's everyone doing? Today I have a Blu-ray collection update with 11 pickups. And if you've seen any of these, definitely let me know what you think of them and let me know which one of these is your favorite. Leave me those comments down below. But let's go ahead and get into it. First up is a TV show, which I haven't seen yet. There are a couple in here that I haven't seen yet, and once I do view them, I will talk about them more in depth in a future video. But this one I'm really excited for. It's 1883. This is like the prequel story for Yellowstone. Yellowstone was like my favorite TV show for the past few years. Love the heck out of that one. Let me know what your favorite TV show is that's on currently. And I haven't seen this one because it was on Paramount Plus, I believe, and I don't have Paramount Plus. People, always ask me when I make posts and stuff like that, why do you buy this? It's on this streaming service. I have like 8 different streaming services and I barely watch them. And I don't want to keep adding because every different offshoot has a streaming service now. And I'm just tired of it. It's more expensive than, when I had cable. But 1883, I love Yellowstone, so I'm excited to find out about the Dutton family and, how they got their success, and I'm sure a lot of hard work. And I love Westerns. Let me know what your favorite Western is. And this is created by Taylor Sheridan, who created Yellowstone. He also wrote and directed Wind River, but he also wrote the Sicario movies, and he's a and Hell on High Water too, but very talented writer, especially for like the Western genre. He really has a feel for it, and I'm excited to see what he does in the future in that realm. He also did a film called Vile, which is somewhat reminiscent of like Saw, which I didn't really care for that one, but a lot of people seem to like that one, kind of like a low-budget horror movie back in the day. But this one has over 2 hours of special features, and great cast in here. Sam Elliott, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. But I didn't know that Billy Bob Thornton and Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson make cameos in here, so that's pretty exciting. And nice slipcover for it. And I'll go ahead and show you the interior of the discs right there, which have the episodes, and then the liners also have the episodes, or actually, yeah, it has the episodes and talks about them and stuff too, so that's pretty cool, and special features. So I like when they have liner notes for the TV shows and stuff like that, and also they have the episode guides on the actual discs too. So really nice release packaging wise too, very simplistic. That's what you need. If there's multiple discs, you could have done a swing tray. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. Again, Yellowstone's amazing. If you're into Westerns especially, check that one out. And excited. There's so much content in here, over 2 hours of the bonus features, never before seen featurettes. And I think the series is, I want to say it's like over 9 hours, but I can't wait. Next up is Harry Potter, the Wizarding World, 20th Anniversary Return to Hogwarts. Now, I'm gonna, tell you a a surprising fact. I've never seen a full Harry Potter movie. I've seen parts. I've caught them on TV when they've already started, things like that, or I've started it or had something else to do, and I've never seen a full one all the way through. And it's long overdue. I remember when they first came out, they were hugely popular. 20 years since the first one, which is shocking, by the way. But I remember when I first saw it, I was like, it's a bunch of pale, sickly British kids riding around on brooms. I just wasn't into it at the time. I think I was just in a different mindset. I was living in my fraternity house when these came out, and I was partying, and watching these kind of movies just weren't it for me at that time period. But I know they're widely beloved. The later ones, Deathly Hallows, seem more interesting and darker to me. But 20th anniversary for the first one right here, so it's just kind of like a reunion essentially, and just going over it and just talking about their experience. So you got the cast right there. This was an HBO Max original, which I also don't have HBO Max, but I just got my girl's brother's login to watch the new Game of Thrones prequel show, which I did enjoy the first episode. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with that. It's just the one house, but of course it's the house with the dragons, so it makes sense. But Harry Potter Return to Hogwarts 20th anniversary. They're having, I know they had like the Friends reunion thing too. So nice slip case instead of a slip cover. And this one does have a digital copy code and just the disc right here, which I'll go ahead and show you, recycled case. But yeah, so I think it's long overdue to finally watch these movies, maybe have a marathon of them. I do have them actually on 4K. I don't know, I have to be in the mood for them too, but the later ones seemed more interesting to me. But next up is Jurassic World Dominion. I did a giveaway for this one. This is the 4K Blu-ray digital copy combo, and it's the extended edition with 2 versions of the movie. I watched the extended version. I hadn't seen it previously. I did a giveaway for this, and a lot of people were interested in it, and congratulations to the winner. I hope to do more physical media giveaways coming up in the future. Thank you for all your support. I was able to, team up with Universal for this one, so that was really cool. It's because of your guys' support over the years on here that I'm able to do giveaways like that with studios and companies. So, but I've done my fair share of ones for my personal collection too. But this one to me though is my least favorite Jurassic Park World Realm movie. Let me know what you thought of it, if you enjoyed it. I love the dinosaurs. I love the the CG animation. I love the the look right there. And I love the cinematography. The score always works for these movies, but I hated everything else. The storyline, the cast, the characters. I wanted all the characters to die. I wanted the dinosaurs to eat them all. Even the original characters and cast members that came back. I didn't even care about them. So I don't know. This one just didn't work. It felt overly long. It felt bloated. Now I will say what's interesting. There's a short film in here, Battle at Big Rock, which was really good. I don't remember how long it was off the top of my head. Maybe 10, 15 minutes, something like that. But that was better than this movie as a whole. And it had the same director. But yeah, I mean, Battle of Big Rock was awesome. I love that. It's just basically about a family camping and then dinosaurs attack and have to fight to survive. I just thought that was a lot of fun. But this one, to me, it falls flat. There's like a conspiracy theory and, it's cool to see the cast members come back from, the original cast. But, and then, they have to stop this conspiracy that could create a global food shortage, essentially. And they go to this island with all the dinosaurs, and it's just it's ridiculous to me. It just doesn't work. I didn't care about the characters. It was just, I felt like it was going through the motions. It felt so convoluted. It felt forced, and it just didn't work. I was hoping for the dinosaurs just to eat everybody. That was really what I was hoping for. The dinosaurs look awesome, but for me, super disappointing. And then they talk about Bryce Dallas Howard in here. I talked about this before when I was talking about this movie when I first got it, before I saw it. And, the discrepancy in pay between her and Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is a much bigger star, first off. He should be getting paid more. Secondly, they already agreed to her contract before filming, before this film was made, before the previous one. So there you go. And it's also, I hear people talk about the women's U.S. soccer team. They should be getting paid as much as the men. No, they shouldn't. You're living in a fantasy world. Pay is generated on how much income is brought in. The men's soccer team, I don't know the exact stats, but I remember looking this up before. I read an article, read a few articles actually, because I thought it was fascinating during all that controversy. But the men's U.S. Soccer team, they don't win as much, but they bring in way more revenue, and that's what matters. If you're not getting people watching the games, buying the jerseys, that kind of stuff, buying the tickets, it doesn't matter. Same thing with the WNBA. You don't think Sue Bird is going to be getting as much as LeBron James or Sabrina Mescu? I can only name like 5 WNBA players, but they're not going to be getting $30 million a season because they don't get that much revenue. And the same thing with the women's soccer team. The men's soccer team, I want to say they bring in like 80 billion or 8 billion or something compared to 80 million for the women's soccer team, something to that effect. It's drastic, the differential. So it's the same thing here. I feel like it has nothing to do with the gender discrepancy or inequality or anything like that. It's how much money is brought in, and it's the same thing too. And they already agreed to her contract, so I don't know why that was controversy at all. But really nice slipcover. It's got a little hollow foil effect right there if you can see it a bit. But yeah, the movie was disappointing to me. Hopefully the person that won enjoys it more than I did. Next up is Vivo, which this has it has a co-director in here too, Brandon Jeffers, but Kirk D'Amico directed the first Croods movie. This was a lot of fun. I hadn't heard about this movie at all. This is from Sony, and apparently it was a Netflix movie. And first off, one thing I want to say is I hate that the Rotten Tomatoes logo right there, the fresh, is printed directly on the slipcover and the Blu-ray underneath. I hate that. Usually it's stickers and you can peel them off. Rotten Tomatoes is a trash rating site. There's no middle ground. It's either like a 90 or a 20. If you want like a legitimate rating site, the best popular rating site is IMDb. That is just, it's more in line with accuracy for, ratings and stuff like that. I'll never understand how Rotten Tomatoes got so popular. It's the same thing like Facebook. How did they get more popular than MySpace back in the day? Slipping money to people, I'm assuming. Same thing here, I think. But this is the sing-along edition. Lin-Manuel Miranda as Vivo, the little Kukadchek, whatever. I can't even remember what that... It's like a little kind of like marsupial animal right there. Kinkajou. It's a Kinkajou. But it doesn't apparently really look like a Kinkajou. Looks like more like a primate. And then you've got some other people. Gloria Stefan is the voice of Marta right there, which was pretty cool. But this was a lot of fun. Way better than I was expecting. I saw the cover and the animation. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I didn't hear anything about it, but it was really good. It reminded me, certain elements reminded me of like Coco. But this one is just... I would recommend it. I enjoyed it. I'm going to watch this one again. It's got a lot of heart. There is a point when they're in like the swamps and stuff, when they get to Florida, it kind of dips a bit, inconsistent pacing, but overall, I really enjoyed this one. The little Kinkajou right here is Vivo, and he is in Cuba with Andre, who is right there, this older gentleman, and they do music together for, money, panhandling, and kind of stuff like that. And he used to be more well-known, and he used to, write and play music with Marta, who became a big star and moved to America. And Marta writes to him, and he's been pining over her for years, and he writes to him and says, this is going to be my farewell performance in Florida, come with me, and we can make music together one last time. And he wrote her a song that he never gave her, expressing his love, but understanding that she had to go and make it and become famous. And so that night, he passes away, and that's not, because that happens right away. And so Vivo's mission is to get the song that Andre wrote to Marta, and so he's trying to do that. And then Gabby is essentially like, I want to say a niece. Is that who it is? It's a family member, offshoot family member, and she's really wild and punky and quirky and all over the place. Purple hair and just really rambunctious. So they have to team up. It's a reluctant teaming initially, and then they care for each other, and it's sweet, it's got heart. I think kids will like it, and I think adults can appreciate it too. In the animation style, initially when I saw the cover, I didn't really enjoy it, but it looks better right there if you can see it in person than what's printed right there on the front cover. I really enjoyed this one. The music was good, the animation, the voice acting, a lot of passion, a lot of heart, a lot of soul, and I was surprised by this one, so I would definitely recommend Vivo. Check it out. Next up is an animated movie that I wasn't a fan of. I've heard some praise for it, and I was bummed by it. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I will always praise Paramount for listening to the fans when they initially showed like the teaser trailer for the first Sonic movie, and they, the fan outcry for the look of Sonic, and they listened to the fans. That rarely ever happens, and they changed the look, and it worked so much better. I enjoyed the first Sonic movie. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was good. I like Jim Carrey a lot, but I don't really love him as Dr. Robotnik. I don't know, just it tries to go too over the top with some of the comedic elements sometimes for his character. Let me know what your favorite Jim Carrey movie is. Let me know what your favorite modern animated movie is, for that matter. And I feel like, to me, like I can't get over how surprised I was by this one. Definitely a strong recommendation for that one. Again, Coco, really, I watched Coco for the first time recently. I got to pick that up on 4K. That one really surprised me too. I love the heck out of that one. I don't know why I waited so long on that one, but Dias de Muerte, the Day of the Dead. I love that everything about that. But Sonic 2, I love that you see Tails and Knuckles. That was the best part for me. Everything else kind of falls flat for me. Dr. Robotnik comes back and teams up with Knuckles, and Knuckles initially, he's searching for this power source that Sonic apparently knows where it is, but he doesn't realize he knows where it is. It's like a treasure hunt, essentially. They have a map, and it's just, teams up with Tails. Tails was watching him, and he comes to help. And there's some quirky moments in there. There's a couple funny parts, but overall, it just falls flat. I wanted more from it. It was cool to see these characters on screen. I remember, playing Sonic when I was a kid. Let me know who your favorite Sonic the Hedgehog character is. But let me know what your favorite Jim Carrey movie is. I feel like everybody talks about his comedy movies. Dumb and Dumber's it's Dumb and Dumber's and Spaceballs for me, for my top 2 favorite comedy movies. But The Majestic was really good. I think that's an underrated one. You know, I feel like he's done so many great comedic roles, but now we're seeing a lot of his films, some of his dramatic ones, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind getting a 4K, Man on the Moon, the Andy Kaufman getting the Blu-ray treatment. But Truman Show is for me, Dumb and Dumber's classic, but Truman Show, incredible. Me, Myself, and Irene, I think, is underrated too. I love that one. Liar, Liar. There's so many great roles, you know, that he's done over the years. Ace Ventura, of course. But I think it's interesting to see some of his dramatic roles. And was it a 2023? I think it was too. I'd love to see him do more in like a darker, round thriller horror aspect too. But yeah, I usually like him, but I don't, for whatever reason, his character just rubs me the wrong way on this one for Dr. Robotnik. But a nice release if you are a fan of the movie, right there. And you see a lot more, I feel like, of the human characters in here. There's like a wedding, and for a part of it, it's them, and they go off to the wedding, but you see them pop up. They do, like, you know, FaceTime calls and stuff like that, and then they crash the wedding, essentially. And I don't know, I feel like you saw more of them, and then especially towards the end, too, and I could have done without that. I would have rather seen just a realm of the CG animated characters, and just with that. But again, some good special features, a nice release right here. You get all new animated short with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, which was a fun time, too. But we'll see. There's probably going to be a third one, right? I mean, it's still getting enough, you know, appreciation and making enough money. So we'll see more of it. I don't know what they're going to do with the third one if they do. But I'd be okay with just seeing, like, the animated characters on it. But I wanted to like that one more than I did. To me, it was a bit disappointing. Next up is Warrior. And this one is the new Lionsgate Steelbook right here, which, again, they're doing these Steelbooks with the slipcover where it reveals different artwork underneath, which I think is really cool. Companies like Mondo and Mill Creek have been doing that for a long time, but Lionsgate really kind of changed the game with it, with revealing different artwork underneath like that. And it's practical because it can protect the Steelbook with that rigid outer slipcover right there, that plastic slipcover, and also aesthetically appealing with revealing different artwork underneath. I did a full unboxing of this already. Check it out. It's a long video. It's 9 minutes, but I went, you know, kind of deep dive. I didn't just show and that's it, like a minute or two, like all the TikTok videos. So, you know, I compared it to the old, you know, I showed it's the, you know, repackaged. It's the same 4K previous re-release. I remember I saw somebody, I think a lot of people aren't aware there's so many re-releases. You know, Adam's Family is getting a new re-release on Steelbook. You know, Good Burger last year had a Blu-ray, and then they had the Blu-ray Steelbook. So many re-releases. This already had a 4K release. It's just repackaged. It's usually the case for these Lionsgate Steelbooks. And I'm okay with that because usually I used to be a big Steelbook fan, then I wasn't. But now I am again. Big ups, and mostly because of Lionsgate and the amazing Steelbooks that they're doing. And I love this movie. This is one of the best, you know, fighting MMA. This is the best MMA movie out there. Let me know what your favorite MMA movie is. Some of the Undisputed movies are good. I wouldn't say Bloodsport because it's different. It's not really sanctioned quite as much as this, but great performances too from Joel Edgerton. Nick Nolte was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and then Tom Hardy. Let me know your favorite Joel Edgerton movie, your favorite Nick Nolte movie, your favorite Tom Hardy movie. I remember him in Bronson back in the day, and The Drop is one that I think is really underrated with James Gandolfini. I never hear anybody talk about that one. Pretty simplistic plot, but I love how it comes together, and that climax, so incredible for me. But great special features on here. Again, it's just repackaged for the Steelbook. And this is directed by Gavin O'Connor, who's worked a couple times with Ben Affleck, but who recently got married to J-Lo. Again, I guess, but they were together back in the day, but they got married twice, I guess once in Vegas, then an official wedding. But every picture I see of them when they show on the news and stuff, and sometimes I'll watch TMZ, guilty pleasure, don't judge me. But he just looks miserable. I hope he's happier than the pictures. Maybe it's just stress, a lot of stuff going on. I get that. But he worked with Ben Affleck a couple times, but The Accountant is one that I love from him. That's my favorite that they've worked together. And I think that's a really underrated action movie. But he directed Pride and Glory with Colin Farrell, but Edward Norton too. But he did Miracle, which was a great film, great inspirational story about the U.S. men's hockey team, Miracle on Ice. So I think he's a talented director, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the future. But we need better MMA movies. there's a lot of like, you know, B-level, low-budget stuff out there. There's a couple good ones that are on that realm, but this is by far the best. I just feel like there's a huge discrepancy from this and like the other ones, and there could be better ones. But this one, you know, the two brothers right there fighting, it's got, you know, great action sequence and fights, but it's also got a lot of heart. I love when Tom Hardy plays like that brooding character. He does it so well. I can't stand him as Eddie Brock though in the Venom movies. I don't like those Venom movies at all. His accent is a big detracted for me. So I think they're gonna make a third one of that one too. And then Let There Be Carnage, I thought was terrible. I love the Carnage character. I like Woody Harrelson too, but that one just didn't work. And I don't know where they're going to go in that realm. And I feel like that's a big thing that we're seeing now too. A lot of the Marvel movies especially doing just overplaying the comedic elements. And sometimes that just doesn't, it feels cringy, falls flat, doesn't work, feels forced. But love this one. And I love the Steelbook for this too. Check out my unboxing video because like nobody watched that. And I think that's kind of funny because I think it's because I go more in depth and I think I talk more and I'm a talker, as you can see here. But that's the whole point for me, is talking movies. I had a comment recently saying, great video, but you talk too much. I was like, I feel like all these, you know, haul videos and the Blu-ray hunting trips, they show the movies, but they don't actually talk about it. And that's really what I'm here for personally. Maybe not everybody is, but that's just for me. I want to hear why you picked it up, what interests you about it, even if you haven't seen it. Maybe something you liked from the writer, the director, the cinematography, or the actor, or anything, something. Tell me about the movies. I feel like when you just show a movie, there's no real value to it. Just tell me something, anything. I don't know. I feel like I'm in the minority in thinking that, and I do talk too much. I become verbose when I'm passionate, and I'm passionate about movies and collecting. So I've been making videos on here for a long time, and I still enjoy doing it. Next up is Frisco Kid, which I just watched, and I didn't love it. It had some good, you know, buddy, comedic moments. Gene Wilder is a rabbi coming from Poland, and he's going to America for the first time. And this is set in 1850, so it's kind of, you know, Wild West. And he comes in Philadelphia, and he's trying to get to San Francisco. And he gets robbed, beaten, shot at, all kinds of, you know, captured by Native Americans, almost burned at the stake, and all kinds of craziness ensues. And you know, it's a very much fish out of water. He gets duped initially because he's a really nice guy. And he has to, you know, do things that he normally wouldn't do. And he teams up with Harrison Ford, who's a bank robber. And he doesn't know that initially, but they, you know, take a liking to each other and they become friends, best friends. And I thought there were some funny moments, but they're too spread apart. I feel like this movie could have been trimmed down to, it's 119 minutes, so 1 minute shy of 2 hours. And I felt like it could have definitely benefited from trimming the fat, so to speak. This is directed by Robert Aldrich, who is amazing director. He directed Dirty Dozen, Longest Yard, the original Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds, which I love, the Adam Sandler remake. I appreciate that one more. But I do like the Burt Reynolds one too, which is getting a Blu-ray release coming up. But he's done some amazing films. Kiss Me Deadly is my one of my all-time favorite movies, top 20. But it's my favorite film noir. Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte. What Happened to Baby Jane? So many great films. Twilight's Screaming Flight of Phoenix. I know he's did some more that I'm trying to remember right here. He did, gosh, the one with Lee Marvin, Emperor of the North, where he was A1. He was, you know, riding trains for free. And that was Ernest Borgnine in there too, was so good. But yeah, he's done some amazing films. But Kiss Me Deadly, Dirty Dozen, but Kiss Me Deadly, I love that movie. That movie is influential to so many other movies. I feel like that movie influenced even Tarantino for Pulp Fiction a bit. But Kiss Me Deadly, I love with the MacGuffin aspect. But I love that movie. Great film noir, my favorite film noir, one of my top 20 movie for me. It has a great Criterion Collection release, and I'm not necessarily afraid. I feel like it's gonna get a re-release. I'm just so tired of rebuying. I know it's probably gonna get a 4K release, and I'm gonna have to buy that. And I'm just tired of, you know, all the repurchasing, rebuying. And I'm glad that we're getting the 4K releases. That, you know, obviously for physical media fans and collectors, you know, we want the best. But anyways, I digress. Back to this. If you're a fan, it looks great. I love when they show the trailers and you can see the restoration and how much, you know, the work that they put in, because it looks so much better than, you know, what the trailer represents here. But yeah, to me, it had some fun moments. and quirky elements, and Gene Wilder's great, Harrison Ford is great. They work so well together, but so much of it could have been trimmed, edited out, and it's just inconsistent pacing for me. And I didn't like it as much as I was hoping to, but I really enjoy Robert Aldrich as a director, and I enjoy these actors, and there's a couple other recognizable actors along the way too. But the last were just too far few and in between for me. This is a kosher cowboy without a prayer, but with plenty of laughs. Not that many laughs for me. Next up is The Adventures of Don Juan with Errol Flynn. In Life Flynn. His life was crazy. I remember reading stories about he had a big house with two-way mirrors so he can watch people. He had trap doors and stuff and all kinds of craziness. He was a big voyeur, and apparently he had a lot of relationships with underage girls and some other issues that came out more so after he passed. And then there's all kinds of, there's a book written about him, but there was a lot of things that people disputed things in the certain books. But in Like Flynn, that's a pretty recognizable quote, mainstream quote now, but it was supposedly because he would seduce the ladies and just get in there very easily. And he actually loved the quote himself, and he was going to make his autobiography titled In Like Me, which is great, by the way. So self-aware. But he was, a raging alcoholic, did drugs, all kinds of craziness, and he had, a rough time once apparently his looks started to fade. But a very talented actor. He did, the Robin Hood movie way back in the day. And now the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie is getting an Arrow video release and 4K release, so that's exciting. But this is another classic character and classic role for Errol Flynn. Adventures of Don Juan, this womanizing guy who has a relationship with the queen here, and he finds out that the king is trying to take power, so he's trying to save the queen here. And there's going to be a lot of lavish sets and costumes and dalliances. So another great performance I'm expecting from Errol Flynn. And this is both of these are new Warner Archive releases, which I'm so happy Warner Archive is still around and making releases. Love them as a company, especially for the releases that they're putting out. A lot of them, I feel like sometimes they could benefit from more special features. Like this one just had the trailer. I don't even consider that a special feature, but this one has a good amount of special features right there. And I would like to see them continue to release more special features, but a lot of these films haven't had Blu-ray releases outside of them, so I'm definitely happy with that. And if I haven't asked before, let me know what your favorite Western is. I know I've mentioned in previous videos, but if you haven't seen those ones before. Next up are the 3 DVDs that I have. This one has a Blu-ray release as well, and it's Phantom of the Open with Mark Rylance, Sally Hawkins, and Rhys Ifans. Mark Rylance won for an Oscar for Bridge of Spies. And I feel like he wasn't even in that movie that much. It's kind of like Anthony Hopkins winning for Silence of the Lambs, but it was a good performance. This one is an interesting story. It's basically about this guy who's a dreamer, and it says he managed to gain entry into the British Golf Open Championship, qualifying in 1976, even though he was a novice. But he subsequently shot the worst round in Open history, becoming a folk hero. So that's what this movie's all about. And it's there's a bonus feature in here called Finding Flitcroft, which is the guy here, Morris Flitcroft. So based off of a true story, and it has the Rotten Tomatoes printed right on the cover. You know how I feel about that, but let me know what your favorite golf movie is. There's some good golf movies out there. I've never played actual real golf. I've played mini golf, and I was so bad at that, I was like, I don't want to try real golf. Next up is Blue Bloods, the 12th season. I think this is actually a really good show, and Magnum PI, I just got the Blu-ray set recently, and I want to do a video talking about that because it deserves. I love that show back in the day. But he had a resurgence, Tom Selleck, in his career. He was on Friends for a bit. He's done a bunch of stuff, Quincy, Down Under, but Blue Bloods, he's great in this. And I think that's one of the things. There's so many shows, but I feel like, you can have good writing, you can have all that stuff, all the technical aspects, but you need the right actors in the roles. It makes me think of like Game of Thrones. There was so much great attributes about that, but you needed the right actors in the roles. I think that's the case here. Donnie Wahlberg is great. And there's a bunch of different issues going on in this season right here. It's a 5-disc set, 20 episodes, plus featurettes, gag reel, deleted scenes, stuff like that. But, there's all kinds of different things happening in this series. Backlash, for an officer who pulls a gun on an unarmed man, a murder case from 1993 where the sole witness is the boss, and then, you know, there's different tragic shootings, murders, and stuff. Somebody, Donnie Wahlberg, brings in the help of a psychic medium. So a lot going on here, a lot of drama, and if you like cop dramas, cop thrills, and stuff like that, TV shows, definitely recommend Blue Bloods. And over 45 minutes, exclusive special features. So it's another thing for physical media. If you want all the exclusive special features, behind the scenes stuff, that's the way to get it. And it has a nice swing tray right there. And then you have the episodes on the discs, and then right there you have the episode guides again, which is awesome. This is the way how you should do TV releases like this: swing tray, episodes on the disc, episode guide in the liner notes, and a slipcover as well. I do wish it was Blu-ray, but again, I'm happy that we're getting them. And I feel like there's a lot of times where in TV shows they'll do like a season on Blu-ray, then the rest of the season's on DVD. So that annoys me. Keep it consistent. Again, I prefer all Blu-ray. Next up is NCIS season 13, includes over an hour of exclusive special features right here. And then, you know, you've got Chris O'Donnell, LL Cool J. Let me know what your favorite LL Cool J movie is. Let me know what your favorite Chris O'Donnell movie is. Son of a Woman, a classic for sure. But I remember School Ties, which is getting an Australian Blu-ray release from Imprint, which I love Imprint as a company. Definitely check them out. You can get them from other websites and companies because the shipping can be costly, but they do amazing releases. High recommendation for Imprint, and everything that I've gotten from them have been region free over in Australia. But School Ties is such a good film. Brendan Fraser, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Chris O'Donnell. Love that movie so much. Happy it's getting a Blu-ray release. But I feel like every time I get one of the Imprint Blu-ray releases over in Australia, then like a few months to a year later, we're getting the Blu-ray over here in the US. Like Fire in the Sky was one too. But I'm happy though. A lot of these films don't have Blu-ray releases. Coneheads is another one. But all right, back to this. Chris O'Donnell, LL Cool J, great. The whole cast is great in here too. The 13th season, mind-blowing to me that's been on that long. But they're, you know, protecting the nation right here. There's, you know, talks about all the different things: Chinese intelligence, white nationalists, militants. This was interesting. An online army of murderous internet trolls. The mob. This is another thing that was interesting. I've seen like episodes here and there, but I haven't seen these ones that they talk about in here. There's a Russian operative impersonating someone using advanced deepfake technology. That's intriguing to me. It's scary to think about. But this is a 5 DVD set with all 22 episodes, exclusive featurettes, deleted scenes, gag reel, all that good stuff. Again, another really nice release from Paramount and CBS right there. And they're doing amazing jobs. It's just like Blue Bloods right there with the same type of release, the swing tray, the episodes on the disc, and then the liner notes with the episode guide. So they're doing it the right way with their releases. Amazing job for the TV shows. It's simplistic, straightforward, but that's how it should be done. No stacked discs, no, you know, cheap releases like that. Quality, well done releases right here. So there you go. Those are the 11 pickups. If you've seen them, some TV shows on here. A couple things I haven't seen. Once I do view them, I will review them and talk about them more in depth in a future video. But some good stuff in here, a mixture of stuff, a couple things I wanted to like more than I did. But let me know if you've seen any of these ones and what you think of them, and let me know which one is your favorite. Leave me those comments down below, and I hope everyone's doing well. Take care.